G'day, gorgeous. So appreciate you tuning in to today's podcast. You are listening to the G'day, Gorgeous podcast that empowers women for life. And today's hot topic, how to design your perfect life following these 3 proven steps I am about to get into. This podcast is raw, it's real, and it's relatable because it gives you the ideas, the tools, and the proven wealth and lifestyle success strategies that will absolutely take you from feeling frustrated to fabulous and successful in health, wealth, and happiness. And if you crave more from life and you too have dreams you want to realize with confidence and clarity, then you have tuned in to the right podcast, because based on my own journey, my experience, and actual results in life, in wealth, health, and happiness, I am going to share with you how to create and live your dream life by design, not by default. So it's great to have you here on the show with me. I am Amanda Jane Clarkson. I'm a best-selling author, inspirational speaker. I'm an entrepreneur and a world-leading wealth and lifestyle coach for women. Yes, big claims, I know. However, I can sit here and say to you that I have helped thousands of people all over the world design and live their dream life since 2007. And to find out how I can help you design and live your dream life through my select mentoring and coaching, you can visit gdaygorgeous.com or click the link in the description below at the end of this podcast. So as always, gorgeous, be sure to have your journal on hand. I never go anywhere without my journal, writing these success strategies and these golden ideas that can literally turn your life around. Today's topic, as I said, how to design your perfect life following these 3 proven steps. And I'm talking about in your health, for your wealth, and overall happiness. Step number 1, this is the biggie. Decide and commit. The time is now. If you want to go from feeling frustrated in any area of your life to fabulous, the thing is this. We've got to stop with the stories, stop with the excuses and all of the reasons why it can't be possible for you to live your happiest life right now. And I want to share with you the difference between successful people and people who fail miserably at life, the people who never arrive, the people who never live a happy life, they never create wealth, they never have great health. In fact, they're always sitting in the corner hoping and wishing and praying things were easier, but never realizing that they held the keys to their own success. The biggest difference between success and failure is this: the people who are successful in life and they live their happiest life are those who decide and commit that the time is now to create their dreams, to take one step at a time. And this is the thing, based on my own journey, my experience, and thousands of people that I have mentored since 2007, it is just about taking the first step. And most of us get so overwhelmed with the big picture, we almost can't see the forest for the trees, so to speak, and we don't know where to begin. We freak out, it all looks too hard, and you know that saying, better the devil you know than the devil you don't. And what happens is most people look outside of themselves for the answers. They start asking their friends, they start asking people with no results in life, or certainly not the results that they want to live. They start asking other people's opinions, and they lack the confidence and the clarity and the certainty to be able to think for themselves. And, you know, I'm not here to point the finger and say somebody's wrong and somebody's right and place judgment, but here's what I do know based on myself. I used to be the one that made all the excuses. I didn't know how to create my dream life. I knew I wanted it, but I just didn't know how to go out there and make it happen. And I'll tell you right up front, I was an excuse maker. In fact, I'm thinking about writing another book called Excuse-itis, I should say. And, you know, I would always blame other people, or the time wasn't right, or I didn't have enough money, I didn't have the know-how. I would think of anything and everything to stay in my comfort zone until pretty much I just woke up one day and I just had a gutful. Now ask yourself, where in your life do you feel like you've finally had a gutful? You know you want to make the change. You know you want to have a different result. You know you want to have more money in the bank. You know you want to have better loving relationships. You know you want that better job or career, or to enhance your business and make your business super successful. You know you want to grow mentally and emotionally and evolve as a person. You know you want more happiness and certainty in life. Yet we sit there and think of all the reasons why we shouldn't take that first step. So thinking about those 7 areas, do you procrastinate in any of those areas? And always look on the outside for people to give you the green light to take that first step, to take the first little step we call action. And I have a friend, and he said this to me many, many years ago, right back in 2003. He said, and you want to write this down in your journal, never ever leave the scene of a decision without taking massive action. And I have lived by that quote for the past, many years, since 2003. In fact, when I first heard it, I wrote that down in my journal and I asked myself every day, Amanda, if you don't like what it looks like in any area of your life, you haven't got enough money, you don't like the friends you're hanging around with, the environment's toxic, you're not happy with your relationships, you want a different job or start a new business, then what can you do today? What is one step that you can take forward that starts that momentum, starts that snowball effect? And this is the difference that I just said a moment ago between success and failure. The decision is everything, but the commitment is even the bigger thing than that. You've got to commit and take the action. So that is step number 1. Then I'll delve into it a little bit more. Number 2, there is no use making a decision and then committing. So say you want better health, you want to lose a couple of pounds, or look in the mirror and actually love who stares back at you. You see, as a personal trainer for many years in my youth, I never believed in the scales. In fact, I would train well over 100 people a week, not myself, but my studio that I had. It was called Royal Personal Training, and I spoke about it in a previous podcast. And we would train around about 120, mainly women per week. The women were ranged between age 20 right up until 60 to 65 years of age. And never once in the 3 years that I ran that business did I pull out the scales, because I didn't believe how you feel about yourself had anything to do with the scales. Some people live by the scales and that's okay, but here's the way I believe it was right for us. When you look in the mirror, you want to like that person who looks back at you. You want to feel love for that person who looks back at you. You want to feel respect for that person who looks back at you. And at the end of the day, we are not all built to be skinny and tall and gorgeous like the models around the world. Everyone to me is beautiful in their own unique way. And so this is why the training business that I had, the personal training business, was successful, because everyone was made to feel important, worthy, and loved. And so everyone was made to feel important, worthy, and loved, special for who they were. And so moving into step 2 of becoming successful in your health, wealth, and happiness, building that life by design, not just waking up every morning and waiting for the day to happen to you. I wake up every morning with intentions. I know what I'm going to do, why I'm going to do it, and I'm always moving one step forward, closer to my goals and dreams. And of course, I get that life is both sides. I mean, whoever believes that life is just one-sided and you just got to stare in the mirror and think positive thoughts, it just doesn't work that way. Life is perfectly balanced. Highs and lows, positives and negatives, ups and downs, all the ebb and flow in life. And I know it because I've lived it. 33 different jobs, 14 different businesses, most of them failed except 4 businesses. So I have lived the ups and downs, the highs and lows, and so will you. This is just a part of life. But it comes down to our attitude and how we see life and the meaning that we give all the things that we see happening around us. And so this step number 2, you must follow a proven freedom formula that works. I do not know a single successful person, and I have met many. I have had countless mentors along my journey of life to being able to live my life exactly the way I want it. In all those areas that I'm talking about, I do not know a single person who doesn't follow a set of success principles. And I call them rituals, daily rituals or success principles. Now, if you have a journal or you might be driving, it is worth when you get home to take down what I'm about to share with you, because this is my own, what I call my Live Now freedom formula that I have created over the years. From all of my mentors, from my highs and my lows, from my ups and my downs, from my experience, and more importantly, from my results that I live today. Now, I'm not going to delve too deep into each of the meanings of the letters of the word live now. However, I'm going to give you an overview so that you can see what success looks like. You can get a feeling and an understanding that to be successful in health, wealth, and happiness in life in all areas, you need to follow a formula. Otherwise, you just get up each morning, you're not planned, you don't know what's going to happen, or you might wake up and you have to go to a dreary job that you don't love. You're not happy with where your life has gotten to and you're wondering why. You don't have enough money in the bank to do the things that you would truly love to do. You don't have any purpose or meaning. That usually boils down to you do not have a set of success principles or rituals that you are living. And so that's why I formulated my Live Now freedom formula. So why did I call it Live Now? Well, here's what I do know, that all we have is right now. In fact, Live Now is that's my number plate on my car. We have a motorboat, and the name of the motorboat is called Live Now because it is my mantra. The past is gone. We cannot relive the past. And unfortunately, I don't know if you know anyone, there's a lot of people that actually stay living in the past with regret, fear, disappointments, so many things that they coulda, shoulda, would have done that didn't. But here's what I say, and here's what I do know from countless mentors, working on myself harder than anything else, my job, career, or business, that the past is gone and we must find a way to make peace with it. And, I'm not sure about your past. I don't know what you've experienced, but in my experience, it is so worthwhile finding a way to forgive or let go of the past, make peace with it, because today is all we've got. We don't know what the future holds, but here's what I do know, that you can live in the now, being present, enjoying what you have, being thankful and appreciative of all that you have right now, while we plan and create that life by design that we all want to live and so deserve, in my opinion. And so that's how I created my Live Now Freedom formula that I teach all over the world to women globally. It doesn't matter if you're a guy listening to this or a lady or even your children. This podcast is a show for the whole family, because these success principles can be learned from you and handed down to your children through your community. You can share them with your friends, because this is what life is about. Life wasn't meant to be awful. Life wasn't meant to be a struggle, even though we do have highs and lows, positives and negatives. However, life is about what we make it. Life is what you create, and you need a specific success formula to help you get there. So let me break down the letters of the Live Now Freedom formula. It's just the letters Live Now, and I'll quickly explain what each of the letters mean. However, in my coaching and training, I go very, very deep and actually have a well thought out process, a structured process. However, you'll get the gist today. So I hope you've got your pen ready, gorgeous. So the first letter in the word live now is the letter L, and that stands for love and let go. So love and let go is all about self-discovery, learning to let go of the past, make peace with the past, and finding out who you are. Now, what are your values? And when I say values, I don't mean society's values of what you should be or how you should show up in the world. I'm talking about internal values, intrinsic values, things that are meaningful for you, things that are important for you, no one else. And here's what I do know, that we are all born with a set of unique intrinsic values, things that are important for us. So for me, for instance, and I want you to think about what your values are, my highest values in life is health is my number one value. Nothing gets in the way of me taking care of my health and well-being every day. My business, I am very much into business. I'm an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur, you might say. I love business, and you can tell that because I've had 14 of them. Even the miserable failures, I'm so grateful that I went through that. And the third thing is love and relationships. However, yours might be completely different. Think about your life. What does your life demonstrate? What do you think about most? What do you talk about most? Where do you spend your time and your money? And if somebody says to you, what do you do? What is your response for that? Your values may be bringing up an amazing family, showing your children something that we didn't know when we were growing up, showing them a different direction, or being the best parent that you can be, or being a famous musician or a horticulturist or whatever rows your boat. But each of us have these values within us, and I know from my life journey and all that I have studied through countless mentors and seminars is that we were all born with unique gifts and talents that the world would love to see. And even if you don't want to take them out to the world, share them with other people. That is the true meaning of life. So that is the letter L. And of course, as I said, my lessons go much deeper than that. But today is a podcast sharing with you valuable life success principles that you can implement right now. So the second letter, I should say, in the word live now is the letter I, and it stands for imagine what is possible for you. This is a biggie because you know what? Most people don't even know what they want and why they want it. So think about your life in the areas of your health, wealth, and happiness. Do you truly know what you want and why you want it? And here's the thing that holds most people up and keeps them in that bucket of failing in life, never being happy or fulfilled or having a purpose. They just are not clear, or they don't use their imagination. Imagination is the gateway that turns the impossible to possible. And I know because I live it every single day. And so I love to imagine things. And this is why I'm so hell-bent on using a journal and a vision board. And that's what I'm going to talk about next. The next letter in the word live is V. Visualize. Believe before you see. And I think Tony Robbins talks about it. The people who are successful in life, the masses, they have to see before they believe, but the top few percent of successful people in this world believe in their dreams before they see them become reality. And this is what I love to share and I love to teach, because everything and anything is possible if you can see it in your mind's eye, you can imagine it to be, and then you can see it through images and having a picture board or a vision board. Today I have a vision board, a digital vision board on my phone. It's proprietary software that we own inside our mentoring group. However, you can just begin with a scrapbook, and I'll share a quick story with you. I currently live in a house here on the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia. And the home that I live in, which is very similar to an American Hampton-style home, this home was a 20-year dream. Right back when I was much younger, I had no money, no clue, no hope, no certainty, and certainly no formula, but I had a dream of living in this Hampton-style home. My husband calls it a doll's house because it's painted baby blue and white, just like the American homes. I love American homes. And for 20 years, I cut out images from different home and garden books and all different magazines that I'd pick up when I'd go to the airport and travel. And I'd cut out all these beautiful pictures of Hampton-style homes and images that I wanted to fill the house with different furniture and all this beautiful stuff. I honestly had no clue how I was ever going to turn that dream into a reality. 20 years on, the house that I'm living in right now is almost identical to many of the pictures that I had on my vision board. Back in those days, as I said, it was a scrapbook. These days, I have a digital vision board in my phone and on my computer. And the power in just giving yourself permission to dream, just giving yourself permission to believe before you see the evidence appear has some sort of magic about it. And you can see I really love talking about it because I really get worked up. So thinking about your life in health, wealth, and happiness, what do you dream of? What do you visualize for yourself? What can you imagine that could be possible? And the question I would ask you is, what do you want and why do you want it? And here's what I do know. If the why is big enough, the how will take care of themselves. You may have heard that many, many times from different mentors, but it's so true. And I know it because I've lived it over and over and over again. I don't know your story. I don't know where you've been. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter who you are, where you've been, what your story is. Your life can change with one decision and a commitment to just take that first step. So let me keep going. The next letter in the word live now is E, and that letter stands for empower. Here's the thing. To have more, you must know more, you must grow more, and become more. I learnt that off one of my mentors many years ago, and I often say it in my podcasts, if we are not growing, we are dying. And so I take it upon myself as a daily ritual, and you might want to do this as well, as a daily ritual to empower my body, my mind, and my spirit with education. If you don't have the life that you want, you don't have enough money in the bank, you don't have the lover that you want to attract, the fabulous relationships, the health that you want to have vital health, you want to wake up each morning and jump out of bed feeling fabulous, then what don't you know? What do you need to learn? It's not that you need fixing, you just need soothing and maybe more understanding. And I look at it like this. I am a student of life. I'm constantly learning new things. I'm reading. I'm going to seminars. I have many mentors in my life because nobody gets there alone. Ask yourself, what are you doing each and every day to empower your body, empower your mindset, and empower yourself internally so that you become strong mentally, emotionally, and physically, which gives you the power to go out there and create that incredible life by design that I know you want. I mean, who doesn't have a dream within their heart? And I hope that you have not buried your dream so far down. I truly hope that you haven't let life beat you so damn hard that you've forgotten what your dream is, or you've allowed others to laugh at you and ridicule you and hold you back. You know, it only takes one person to believe in you, one mentor to believe in you, one friend to believe in you that can turn the impossible to possible. Let's keep going. That is the word live covered. Of course, it goes much deeper than that. Now we're moving into the second word from the Live Now Freedom Formula, and the letter N, which stands for never quit. Yes, that may sound obvious, but how many people do you know? Maybe you've had this experience. I certainly have. How many people do you know that quit inches away from success if they have just taken one more step forward, believed in themselves, had a vision board, had a roadmap, had a mentor, could have turned the impossible to possible? And here's what I do know from my own experience, so many jobs and so many businesses. When the dream is big enough, no matter how many times you hit the dirt, and I have hit the dirt more times than I care to remember, and maybe you have too, the dream of being free, the dream of having financial success, abundant health, amazing relationships in my life, a balanced life that I absolutely love living each and every day, the dream was so strong that no matter how many times I hit the dirt, I was able to get back up, brush myself off, and start again. Now, thinking about your life, how many times have you hit the dirt? How many times have you wanted to quit, and yet you had nobody there to take you by the hand and say, it's okay. You're almost there. It's okay. Take my hand and let me help you. It's okay. You're nearly there. Keep going. And in the book that I wrote, my last book, From Frustrated to Fabulous, I even wrote, I remember a time when we lost $1 million in the GFC. And that's a whole nother story for a different podcast. It was a devastating blow for us financially and personally, mentally and emotionally. That's a different story. However, in the book, I said, if I hadn't worked harder on myself, empowering my body, my mind, and my thinking and my spirit, I would have quit on my dreams. I never would have stood back up and kept going no matter what. And I say to people, for me, I just say, Amanda, it's time to have a nice cup of concrete, girlfriend, and keep going. And that's what I would say to you as a mentor sitting here right now sharing my story. No matter how many times you hit the dirt, I believe in you. I believe in your dream. Get back up and just keep going. I'm getting ahead of myself now, getting all carried away, but hang with me. The next letter in the word now, opportunity. This is a biggie, and people always sit around waiting for their luck to change. That's what I used to do. When's my lucky break going to happen? Who's going to hand me the keys on a platter? It's just never going to happen, babe. It's just never going to happen. Because here's the thing. Opportunity is reserved for those who are prepared. Opportunity knocks when you are prepared. And here's the thing. There is endless and bounty of opportunity once you prepare. Become the person that sees all the opportunity, doors open every which way. Your biggest problem that you are going to have when you embark on this journey and make a decision to create and live your life by design is staying focused on one thing or being focused on what you actually want to realize and make happen, because there is always endless opportunity for people who are seeking it, people who are optimistic, people who are on the road to success. They are in the right communities, they're in the right environments, they're with the right mentors. It is incredible. And thinking now where you want to end up, thinking about what your goals are, your dreams, health, wealth, and happiness. What are the opportunities that you may be missing out on if you're not moving closer step by step, day by day? Now, let's move into the last letter of the word now, and then we've covered the Live Now Freedom Formula. Just skimmed across the top of it. The last letter, W, stands for willing. Willing to do whatever it takes. And I know from my own experience and thousands of people that I have mentored over the years that if your reasons why are big enough, your will to keep going is unstoppable. There is nothing that will stop you. However, you will stop, you will quit, you will give up, and you will not be willing to do whatever it takes if you don't have a dream big enough, if you don't have enough reasons why to keep going when life knocks you down or other people knock you down. And I know what that feels like. So many people have laughed at me. So many people have told me it's not possible. So many people have said to me, you'll never make it, Amanda. Stick with what you know. You're not smart enough. You haven't been to college. You haven't been to university. I never ever listened. You know why? Because my dream of being free financially, having great health and happiness, my dream was so strong that nothing and nobody could ever knock it out of me. And that's why I always say, have mentors who believe in you. Follow success where success leaves clues. There are always mentors. Wherever you want success in life, there are always mentors who believe in you and will be willing to take you by the hand. So that in essence is what my Live Now Freedom formula stands for. Now I want to go on to the third step of life success. Third step of creating your life by design, not living by default and certainly not in desperation. And that is having the right mentor, accountability, and community. They are the epitome of the step number 3. They all go hand in hand. And again, I have never met a successful person in life, and I know so many of them, met so many of them, read about so many of them that didn't have these 3 key components: mentors, accountability, and the right community or environment. I have a saying, my husband and I have a saying, and we coined this phrase right back in 2007. 1 + 1 = 11. Now I want you to think about you. This is about you. In your life, where have you ever invested and engaged in a mentor who you know has helped you achieve the success or a result that you have wanted hundreds of times faster than you could ever go it alone? And here's the thing that I know Napoleon Hill talks about in one of his books, Think and Grow Rich or Life Success, is this: you can achieve more in the right community or the right mastermind in 1 year than you can achieve going it alone a whole lifetime. Now you think about that. Where you are right now and where you want your life to be, what do you want it to look like, feel like? Are you trying to create this by yourself, or have you got the right mentors around you? Who's keeping you accountable? Who's in your community? Who's in your environment? Who is having an effect on you mentally and emotionally or even physically? And you've got to ask yourself the question, am I serving myself? Am I putting myself in a position that can actually help me realize my goals and my dreams? Yes or no? And it's just a question today, and this is what I love sharing on this podcast, is the steps that I have taken, countless other people have taken to realize their dreams. As I have mentioned before, and I'll say it again and again, I know you have a dream in your heart. I know there are dreams that you would love to become your reality, yet you do not know how to make them become your reality. You don't have the right environment. You don't know who's going to keep you accountable. You don't have the right mentor. But here's the thing, they are out there waiting to help you. It's up to you though to make the decision and commit that the time is now. And so this is the thing about having mentors and being accountable. These days I have accountability tools that are proprietary for my own students. However, you can have countless ways to keep you accountable. I use a journal. I have a diary that I write my intentions in each day and tick them off. And I ask myself up to 5 to 10 times a day, and you can do this as well, is what I'm doing right now and how I'm feeling right now taking me closer to my dreams, or is it taking me further away? Now, you can only be honest with yourself. You're the only one that can bullshit yourself, look in the mirror, lie to yourself. But at the end of the day, you know, is what you are doing right now and how you're feeling taking you closer to that dream life by design or further away? And if you can honestly look in the mirror and say, well, what I'm doing right now is really not helping me. It's taking me further backwards. It's making me unhappy. It's certainly not going to ever give me the life that I truly want to live. Then it's not about beating yourself up. It's about changing directions, turning around and saying to yourself, who can help me? What can I do today that will be one step closer? It's never about beating yourself up. I am a big one on self-love, and I know that we beat ourselves up a lot. And so as I'm your mentor in this space right this moment, I don't want you to beat yourself up. I want you to become aware, turn around and face a new direction. So we've covered a lot today in this podcast so far, and I hope that you've taken copious amounts of notes. It is not easy to go out there and create a life by design. It is not easy to go out there and become financially independent. It is not easy to wake up in your latter years, in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s and 80s with amazing health and vitality. These things don't just happen. These things must be thought about. You must have a plan. You must know where you're going, why you're going there, and have all the reasons stacked up. Create daily rituals that keep you on track, keep you focused and moving forward. And if you stick to these rituals, if you start to follow the Live Now formula that I've just shared with you, just start with one step at a time, one day at a time. I promise you, I can practically guarantee, I promise you that within the next 30 days, your life will start to turn around. You will feel a change within you. You will feel a change in your environment. You will feel a change in your life direction. I absolutely guarantee it. And if I ever get the opportunity to meet you in person, I would love to know that if you've implemented some of these strategies and some of these success formulas that I share with you on this podcast, I would love to know how it's impacted your life and the lives around you. So we're at the end of our podcast for today, and we have covered a lot, and I am absolutely going to keep deep diving into the journey of success and what it takes to live your life by design, what it takes to realize your hopes and your dreams. The whole journey, the good, the bad, the ugly, I'm going to share with you. Now, you'd have to agree we covered a lot in today's podcast. My hope is that you will go home, or if you haven't already, take copious amounts of notes. These are golden gems. These are golden life success lessons that I promise you that if you implement, you will have success. We have covered so much today, and in up and coming podcasts, I am going to dive deep into more about success, more about health, creating wealth, becoming financially independent, and having amazing, loving relationships with yourself and other people, being happy, growing personally, financially, in all areas of your life, and living your very, very best life. Remember, going from frustrated in any area of your life to feeling fabulous and becoming successful begins with one step at a time, one day at a time, because you are worthy of the wealth, health, and happiness you dream of. And I absolutely believe in you and all of your goals, no matter your story. Now to next week, I truly appreciate you being here and tuning in to the Gday Gorgeous podcast that empowers women for life, taking them from frustrated to fabulous in health, wealth, and happiness. And if you've liked this episode and you got value from it, I'm hoping you did this time, I would be so grateful if you take just 30 seconds to leave me a review and pay it forward by sharing this podcast with your family, your friends, and others you know who would greatly benefit from the life success principles that I will share with you. Lastly, to find out more about my select coaching for women, my new book, which comes in paperback and audio, the journals and the diaries that we have created, their designer. And lastly, to find out more about my select coaching inside my private community for women, you can find out about my new book. It comes in audio or paperback, our designer journals and diaries that we have created for the Live Now Freedom formula. And of course, most importantly, see other stories of other women who have come on this journey and created incredible success in their life, head to my website, gdaygorgeous.com. I look forward to seeing you there. And until next week, gorgeous, as I love to say, be bold, be courageous, and be fabulous. All right, I'm Amanda Jane, and I will see you next week in the next episode of the G'day Gorgeous podcast that empowers women for life. Bye for now.